Well, all right, guys, welcome to another episode of whatever this is. And look at this. I've got more squiggles for you. Let's talk about a few cool things that are going on. But did you see the last episode of Ashton Forbes? Yeah. Remember those squiggles and drawings that I was obsessed with? You know those cool things like they go like this and then they go like this? And then in the middle, you have like a special space. It's so cool. Fusion. Cold fusion, guys. Anyway, Happy New Year. It is actually the new year. And as it is the new year, you gotta have rain. You gotta have rain, right? Here we are with reflections. And the reason why this is funny is because, look at this. This was in the mailbox. Irvine, welcome to Funky Town, right? Funky Town? Our mailbox are not waterproof. So when it rains in California, which it does, look at this, our newspapers. Newspapers, yeah, look at that. Amazing. It's all wet and ruined. There you go. That's why we, as Americans, are ahead of the rest of the world, right? When it rains, it's almost like when I was in the UK for a little while. When it rained, and it rains all the time, the trains are a disaster. You would think that they'd have systems in place, since it rains all the time, for the trains. Nope. When it rains, it's a disaster over there too. But we can't even take care of protecting our own mailboxes. Can you imagine national security? National security can't tell you secrets, but our mailboxes. And can you believe this? Look at this. In 2025, with the price of toner being so expensive, we can still afford to print colored images? Anyway. Eventually, I'm going to get that boy. Was it Robert Braxton or Tony Braxton? And Eli, the computer guy, to say moo. I say moo, moo, moo. And then I sing, say, hey-oh, hey-oh. I say moo, moo, moo. And then I hear, what is it? What does it say? Then I want to hear you say moo-oh, moo-oh. Now, we can't really make that song in 2025 because it's not kid-friendly enough. But we can still do the moo part. Put that cow on the bench and do that monkey wrench. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, let me see. Let me hear you say moo-oh. Moo-oh. I'm going to get Eli, the computer guy, to say moo. I promise you at some point. It's good enough that he says that our cows have thumbs because they can bench press. That's good enough for me. But then at some point, moo will be a thing. And the reason why I make these videos, and you guys are like, what the heck? He has all these jokes, and I get none of his jokes. And none of his jokes are funny. Why does it even bother to come on camera and make these videos? The jokes, you will get the jokes 20 years down the line when we're all screwed. And everybody's going to be stuck and addicted to these nvidia chips, this CUDA, which is the garbage software. It's one of the most garbage softwares out there. It's horrible. Dump it now. If you're a real technology professional, tell your boss, we're not doing CUDA and we're not doing PyTorch. We will make our own software dedicated to run GPUs if that's what you want to do. First of all, you don't need GPUs. Those things take so much power and electricity. It's a built-in moat that they've put together, which is a disaster for all of us. If you're a real technology professional, tell your boss, we're not doing that. We're going to use Mamba, a little bit of Mamba, the cha-cha-cha, the salsa, and even the Macarena if you want to. We're going to use our own distribution of Linux. It could be AlgoRx, ALG. It could be Archbang. It could be Archcraft. It could be Endeavor. And you think, I know you're looking at me going like, you're just making these names up. There's no such thing as what you're talking about. There's no such thing as Alpine Linux or Tiny Core or Kimu. You're just making these things up. It's just like, you're just like another Mike Israel. But I promise you, 20 years from now, when everybody is stuck on API calls, sending things to the cloud, and the internet goes down one day, and all of their applications are a mess, and you can't use any of your cool stuff, because instead of listening to me and making mama, 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 with nano, olama, lama, better than Obama, project chatbots and AI, and then using the trained AI, like, I don't care if it's DeepSeek or you're using Grok or whatever it is, so long as you use a trained model that is offline, to use that as a memory base, you know, like with all the data that you need, but then you're using fast systems like Mamba and Olama Lite to do the real processing, so it's very fast. No. It's going to be a disaster, and I can see this coming. Like, all I can do is just warn you guys ahead of time. That's all I can do. I've already done my part. When I'm president, things will be different. We'll start a new government when I'm president. First things first, we're going to change the rules. We're going to listen up, all you boys and girls. First of all, we're going to have no after schools. You better vote for me or it'll not be cool. Yeah. Anyway, nobody's going to listen to me. Even when I tell you, I say moo, 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 and then you're going to say moo-oh, moo-oh. You're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. And so we're going to have all of our robots. How many of your vacuum cleaners, robot vacuum cleaners, and other products that you bought that are running off of the cloud, the app is no longer working? You now have to throw that piece of garbage away because you can't control it anymore. How many of your toys, how many of your products that you have in your home have now died because nobody is servicing it anymore? Your cloud-based app is now dead and buried, and now you have to buy a new one. How many? Just put a number out there. Just put a number out there. Why do you think my baby Jesus is not coming back? Why do you think so? Why do you think that is? Baby Jesus, come back. There's nothing I can do. Literally, I'm just like the Democrats. The Democrats, when they go out there. Not saying the Republicans are better. Again, as you guys know in this channel, I am apolitical. I don't care. I have tax derangement syndrome. And I'm like, this is a toy. And it's more air-gapped than Dominion voting machines, your local bank's vault, the ATM. Everything is less secure and protected, as if this was a matter of national security. Why is this a matter of national security? Why can't toys be toys? Why can't we have children be able to play with toys, with Raspberry Pi? And this, why? Everything is backwards, guys. Anyway, to end this little video on a positive note, I went to Center City. It was awesome. I always recommend this. I don't have my favorite rope to try all the little knots and things for this video today, but I do recommend you guys go out there. It was a humbling experience for me. Why? Because I have, this is the holidays, so you have the holiday weight on. I had my usual weights, my arm weights, my leg weights, and I was the belay. For most of the time. I only spent maybe 30 seconds climbing. And when I did, let me tell you, when you have the holiday weight, because you've had more, say together, kids, of the Paul Saladino diet with the gluten and the milk or the cheese, because I had cheese bread and extra sugar and all that jazz. And I did not have a little bit of animal fat because it's in the cheese. But other than that, just a little bit is enough to make you so much heavier. In fact, usually I'm 120 pounds, but right now, with the added water weight, like Israel will say, I'm 150. So I couldn't really climb. I gassed out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you all soon.